What up, boys? It's your boy JBC. I'm here with my main man, Dan1312. Dan, how we doing?
Good, man. Best friends edition of the show. It's Max Holloway fight day. So for
I was gonna put the shirt on that you have on earlier. Jessica has it on right now.
All right.
She requested that I wear it as well, so I think we have to.
You definitely got to throw that on later.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, no real stakes on this card, but goddamn, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier is like the best possible fight that you could possibly book. I'm so excited right now.
It's amazing. All these guys just want to get sent out by Max Holloway. These goats, Korean Zombie and Dustin. I feel like that's
because they all respect him the most.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like that's the ultimate sign of respect is to like ask for your retirement fight to be against Max Holloway, where it's
you kill me, and then I'll go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no shame in getting killed by Max Holloway. So
right, like you would ask the person you respect. Like if you wanted to have somebody kill you, you would ask the person you respect the most in your life to kill you.
Exactly,
and that's what's going on here. But yeah, I mean, some of the other cards interesting. You know. We've gotten some steam on some fighters that some people might have thought were washed. Copilov Costa, Marvin Vtori. I know I bet on both of them. So, those fights could have some stakes, but I think aside from that, we're just going to get a whole lot of knockouts. And it should be pretty good as far as entertainment value. So we'll start at the top with probably the worst fight on the card. Was it Carly Judis against Nicole Caliari? Let's see. Judis coming in minus 370 on the money line, inside the distance number 215 against Nicole Caliari coming back at plus 310 with an inside the distance number of plus 750. Dan, I noticed JSU took Caliari. I really don't agree with that. How do you feel about it?
I believe I also took Caliari. It really just No, I didn't take Caliari. I took Judis, and it really just comes down to volume. Like, she just throws otherworldly volume. She's got a loss where she scored 83 points, if that tells you anything. And she doesn't wrestle or grapple. It's just all striking volume. It's insane. All offense, no defense. It's why last time she fought, we liked both sides of that fight. I think Caliari is going to put up a lot more resistance than Eunice Dubin did. Dubin's a bit of a punching bag, but I still like Judis to come out with the win here, put up a ton of striking volume. At 9,100, I think we pushed her pretty hard last time she fought, but this is a bit more of a stacked 9K range this week. There's a lot more opportunity cost to going with Judis here. So I do like her quite a bit, but she doesn't rate out nearly as good for me as like Jimmy Kroo, Kevin Holland, Gautier. I mean, obviously you're getting a bit of a discount from those guys above her, but I'll probably end up around like 20% on her. Just what I have her projected at, which feels, I actually brought that down a bit from like the mid 20s. Feels a little high just considering the strength of this range, but I think she's a fine play. I mean, you could easily, and Caliari on the other end as well. Like, Judis is going to be forcing the action. It's going to be fought at a high pace. She wrestles and grapples in volume. So if she's winning, it's going to be with wrestling and grappling, and that is going to score really well on DraftKings. So 7,100, and I mean, we'll talk about it. The state of these underdogs is
dire.
They're shit, straight up. So low level women's MMA, we love to target that. So I'm gonna have a good amount of both sides of this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Carly's gonna win. I don't. It's hard to as you just spoke about. It's very hard to rationalize playing her a lot when, the entire rest of the 9K range is minus money to finish inside the distance. Like there's definitely a world where Jimmy Kroo, Kevin Holland, Gautier, Zellhuber, Dulattov, and Ferrer all score 100 plus. Yeah, it may even be likely. So, it's tough for me to go for a girl that's probably not going to get a finish and doesn't grapple. She would just have to throw an otherworldly amount of strikes, which she might. But if she even gets taken down once, she's not getting there.
Yeah, that's true. If she has to wrestle or grapple defensively, that's gonna like severely impact the amount of volume she's going to be able to throw, obviously. So now having talked through it, I'm probably more interested in the Caliari side, even though I think she loses.
Yeah, I played Caliari maybe low teens. I hate it. I hate no finishing upside. I mean, obviously the wrestling's there, but like Paulo Costa only 200 more, it's tough. I just don't like this fight very much at all for DFS. I think in my $555 teams, I may have played each girl twice out of 18. So
yeah. I'll probably be closer to like low 20s on both of them, just because I really like the pace that Judis brings to whatever fight she's in.
All right, next fight we got, let's see, Bruno Ferrer versus Jackson Timothy McVey. Bruno Ferrer, the most expensive fighter at 9,700, with a money line of -500 and an inside the distance number of -450. Jackson McVey coming back at +411, but inside the distance only +500 for a $6,500 fighter. I'm very interested in Jackson McVey. I played him quite a bit. I've got him like 25 to 30%, just because every single other fighter down there really does not interest me, and they all suck. And this guy at least has, there is upside there. He could knock him out. And we know Bruno likes to get in there and bang and leave himself open. So, I'm definitely going to, obviously I'm going to play Bruno a good amount. But right now I've got Bruno at 37% and McVey at 28. So I've got this fight almost 2/3 of my lineups. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm about around there. I've got like nearly 30 on Bruno. I'm going to be like 20 on McVey. And it's just like Bruno is one of a handful of guys on this card that like come out really hot out of the gate, but they've got about 1 round of cardio. So if you can get them into the second round, deeper into the fight, like they're there to get got. Just like you said, like Ferrer, super aggressive. He could leave himself open to getting clocked in the first round, but if we get out of the first round, I think McVey's chances to win increase exponentially. So I'm going to have somebody is going to die here, most likely. So I want in on that.
Yeah.
I want in.
Side note, this is great. So my grief counselor was actually named Timothy McVey. I swear to God. And so he went by Tim, obviously. Yeah. And I asked him, I was like, so what was that like when the bombing happened? And he was like, well, I stopped going by Timothy and I changed all of our SEO over to Tim, because the guy was like 60. So he had to live through it like in his adult years. So terrible.
That's like our Office Space, Michael Bolton.
Yes.
Why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
Yes. It's so good.
My favorite Timothy McVey fact is that the thing that ultimately drove him crazy was
the Bills
losing 4 straight Super Bowls. So
you never know what's going to do it. Next up, we got Ryan Spann versus Lucas Bzeski. I love this fight. They both suck, but it's going to be great. Ryan Spann -238, -185 inside the distance at 8,700. Lucas Bzeski +206 and +250 inside the distance at 7,500. This fight is very likely to end very quickly. Which side are you on betting wise? I've got a pretty strong take here, actually.
We have a meme in the chat for fights like this that I won't repeat here. But, dude, these two are terrible. They both have no chin, no cardio. Bzeski is straight up not good at anything. But Spann, we just talked about Ferrer. Like, Spann is even worse. When we broke down Spann's last fight, which was his first up at heavyweight, we were like, well, maybe the move up to heavyweight will like help with his cardio and durability. It did not help with his cardio and durability. They're both still shit. I have zero faith in Ryan Spann, but I'm going to have a ton of him because he hits hard, and Bzeski might actually be the worst heavyweight on the roster, which is saying a lot. Like, we just watched Junior Tafa last week. So this is another one. Someone's going to die. I'm taking both sides. This is a disgusting fight, and it should be a lot of fun.
No. I think Ryan Spann is infinitely more talented than Bzeski, but he just is an idiot. And also, yeah, his chin's dust now. So it's not the makings for great chalk, but I mean, he's in my core. I love it. Bzeski's terrible. You know, I want Ryan Spann in as many lineups as possible. Like,
yes,
I think he's gonna kill him.
Justice for Jairzinho. I still can't believe they tried.
Justice for Jairzinho. Yeah, like, why can't you book Jairzinho to fucking knock these guys out? Like,
I don't understand.
You know, it's like, dude, Derek Lewis last week. Just book him, fucking kill him. Like, dude, I don't get it. I don't get why they let Jairzinho go, because he was awesome. But yeah, no, this is a great fight to target for DFS. Playing a ton of Spann. Bzeski, I think you need to mix in, obviously, due to the dogs all being horrible and him having a plus 250 inside the distance number. I'm probably playing him 25 to 30%, but I'm playing Spann up near 40.
He's way, way underowned for his finishing upside.
Because he's terrible.
Yeah.
But also he's fighting Ryan Spann. Fat Ryan Spann. Yeah, fat Ryan Spann. Not skinny Ryan Spann. Fat Ryan Spann.
I decided to really stop training Ryan Spann.
Yeah. Cash and checks, baby.
I heard this mentioned in a few places this week, but it's like, you know, you've got Ryan Spann going up to heavyweight from light heavyweight, looking the way he does. Last week, we literally just saw Vitor Petrino go up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, and he was fucking cut, dude. Like, he clearly has been training and putting on muscle and not just sitting around getting fucking fat.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when Jones moved up, he didn't look like he was heavier, obviously, but he looked like he had put on the weight correctly. So yeah, Vitor, he committed a murder.
Yes, he did.
I was there. I witnessed it. I witnessed a murder.
How were the vibes at the card live?
Oh, dude, Derek winning. I was in the muck down on the floor, and like, people were like throwing chairs when Derek won because they were so happy, because we all had Derek, and we were just, the guy sitting next to me, he was like, yeah, I don't really know about this, blah blah blah. And I was like, just bet like $3,000 or $4,000 on Derek Lewis. He's like, I've never placed a bet more than $300. I'm like, it'll be fine. He's gonna win. The sweat lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah, last week, one of our subs, Slappy, he actually won that chop.
Slappy.
Okay, yeah. We were talking earlier in the Discord. We were talking about the main event, and he was like unsure about Derek Lewis, and I was just like, dude, like, Derek Lewis against another Brazilian cab driver, like, I'm jamming Derek Lewis. Then going into the main event, he knew he was live. He was like, should I hedge? And I was like, no, brother, Texas hedge. We only Texas hedge here.
Only Texas hedge.
Which he didn't do it. Shame on him. But, you know,
30 seconds.
25K for day's work. Not too bad. So congrats to Slaps.
So I couldn't tell while I was there, but I heard he faked an eye poke.
Yeah, I at first I was like, that sounds really fucking stupid, but then other footage has like resurfaced of him. I forget who he was fighting, but it's like him taking a body shot and kind of just like bending down, acting like he's hurt, and then the dude gets in his range, he just pops up and starts fucking swinging at him. So
Ferrer versus Jamal Hill.
Yeah, dude, the rope-a-dope. I love it. I love everything Derek Lewis does. I would watch Derek Lewis crush cans until he's 60 years old. So I hope that happens. I've actually been hearing people talk about a Derek Lewis title shot, which, dude, throw him in there with Aspinall. Fuck it.
I think that he would have a better shot than most people, just because, you know, if Aspinall happens to like dive a takedown and he hits him, like, he's going out.
Yep. Dude, another Derek Lewis flying knee into a Aspinall takedown attempt. Whew.
I think I'd also love Derek Lewis talking shit to Aspinall before the fight. That would be great.
That needs to happen.
I agree. Heavyweight sucks. Just throw Derek Lewis in with Aspinall.
It looks like, however, Pereira has been putting on weight. I think he's at like 248 right now. So I think
I'd watch him fight Derek Lewis too.
Well, no, I think we might be getting Pereira and
yeah. Well,
the biggest fight they can make right now.
I don't think Pereira really has the guns to go with Aspinall.
No, but but it'll be a huge fight.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be great. We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We will be there. All right. Next, we got Jimmy Kroo, the pride of Bendigo, Australia, where my wife is from, randomly. Against Marcin Pragna, who sucks. Jimmy coming in at minus 323, minus 135 on the inside the distance number for 9,000 DraftKings salary. And coming back, Marcin Pragna, 7,200, plus 274 and plus 550 inside the distance. Seeing a lot of love for Jimmy Crute. Can't really hate on that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Pragna, his wrestling and grappling defense is absolutely awful. Crute doesn't have the best wrestling or grappling, but he's several levels above Pragna. So if he gets him down even just once, like that could be a wrap. Yeah, that's about it. Like my main concern with Crute is that like he wins too efficiently, right? Like he takes Pragna down and then gets like a submission outside of the quick win bonus. And then you've got one takedown, a submission win that doesn't break 100 points for your 9,100 Jimmy Crute, but he should be able to win this fight pretty easily. Pragna, if he can stuff the takedown and keep it on the feet, I'll say Pragna is probably live to win a striking decision if he can get Crute out of the first round, because Crute is another guy with like pretty suspect cardio and durability.
He looks like he drinks a lot of beers.
Yeah. So Pragna at 7,200, you know, the dogs on this slate, we keep talking about it. They're terrible. I'm sort of looking at this low 7K, 6K range is like, if you can get me a win, I'm probably pretty happy with that. So do I think it happens all that often? No, but I think Pragna is live here just as a guy who can win, possibly, if Crute just like can't get the takedowns. And Crute he's been in a lot of close fights. You know, he's not exactly blowing people out of the water.
I was going to say, when we saw him against Alonzo Menefield, he did not look very good.
He looked terrible. He's been losing. He's been fighting the draws. So not the most.
And he always seemed more talented than that to me. It's frustrating to watch him.
Yeah, he retired. He unretired. It's like just not.
His head's really not in the game.
I don't have a ton of confidence in Jimmy Crute, but he really should roll in this matchup. This is like a severe mismatch on the ground. So I don't like Crute nearly as much as, let me see here. Actually, you know, he's not that bad of an option up here. I'm probably going to get to like mid-20s on Crute, maybe a little bit higher, just because he does have finishing upside. Super good matchup, but I'm not super confident in it.
He's definitely a major discount over, your Ferrer, Dulattov, Zellhuber, Gautier group. So I think that's the appeal here with Jimmy Crute. I do think it's a severe mismatch, and I'm playing him probably 25-30%. You know, I think you have to, but
I was actually looking at the wrong thing. I'm probably going to be like mid-30s on him. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's completely reasonable. Down at the bottom, again, the dogs are just so bad, and I would much prefer to have Pragna over Caliari or D-Rod or Valentine. So I'm going to play Pragna probably high teens, maybe 20%. But yeah, I mean, I don't really like him in this matchup. I think Jimmy Crute is more than fairly priced, so you should definitely have quite a bit of Jimmy Crute in your lineups. Next, we have Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulattov. Islam coming in at minus 625 on the money line with a matching minus 450 inside the distance to Bruno Ferreira at 100 less salary. Adam Fugit coming in, and I'm going to keep calling him that. Adam Fugit coming in at 6,600 money line plus 510 inside the distance number of plus 900. I mean, I like Islam Dulattov a lot in this fight. I don't really see Fugit posing much of a problem for him. I put Dulattov in my core. I played him like 40-45%. He's my favorite play on the card. Do you agree? Do you like Dulattov? I know Tony was talking him down a little bit.
No, I love Dulattov. You've got a 10-year age edge there. Fugit is 36. You know, he's got a lot of wear and tear, aging. He can be hurt. He can be knocked out. And this Dulattov guy just comes out so fucking aggressive. He's ultra aggressive, ultra violent. And And he's just looking to get a finish right from the start, which is something I love and I'm always looking to buy into heavily. So I'm going to have a ton of Dulattov. On the other side, Fugit. Again, Dulattov, though, has been out of a first round, I think, maybe once. And he kind of looked like he was slowing down a little bit in that second round. So, like, yet another guy here who's a massive, massive favorite, but we don't really know much about him. He's just been kind of crushing cans and going through super, super weak competition. So that doesn't really tell you all that much. If Fugit's able to put up any kind of resistance and get it to round 2, then maybe he's got a shot, but it's not something I'm going to be looking to like invest all that heavily in. I'm definitely on Dulattov, and I think Fugit I'm like single digits on him.
Yeah, Fugit, I'm playing 7 or 8%. I refuse to pronounce his name correctly. Your commitment to pronouncing his name correctly was very notable.
Thank you.
Dulattov, I love that side of this fight. I jam him in there. Thank you, Angela.
Oh,
I don't know the answer, but this looks like something that I would write to myself.
JBC Turner, Angela.
Yeah. Next, we have Atiba Gautier versus Robert Valentine Frey. Gautier coming in at -526 with a -320 inside the distance number for 9,400 on DK. Robert Valentine Frey, 6,800 plus 425 on the money line with a very decent plus 650 inside the distance number for being that cheap.
Yep.
The last time we saw Robert Valentine, he was fighting Torres Finney when he would not punch at all and threw 4 strikes the entire fight. That was terrible. So I don't really blame Robert Valentine for that. So I'm glad they gave him another shot, albeit against somebody who's probably going to kill him. How do you feel? I know a lot of people are on Gautier.
Yeah, I mean, they finally gave Valentine a striker they've been putting him against wrestlers and grapplers who have been absolutely wrecking him, but they put him against a striker in Gautier who's just like an absolute murderer, dude, just a physical freak. The only thing, I mean, I do like, you mentioned Valentine has a better inside the distance number than pretty much any of the options down here in this 6K range. And the breakdown on Gautier is kind of similar to Dulattov, where like he comes out aggressive, he's ultra violent. He's trying to end the fight right from the get-go, but we don't really know what he looks like if he doesn't get that finish. So like, how does he look if the fight makes it to round 2, round 3? It's very possible that Valentine can take over, and Valentine is dangerous on the feet and the mat in his own right. So I think Valentine is definitely a live dog here. Gautier's super unproven, so I don't think it's that crazy to play Valentine in like the 20s, but I'm also going to have a ton of Gautier.
Yeah, I've got Gautier a little less than Dulattov, but still heavy, mid-30s. Valentine, I'm playing probably 10 to 15%. I mean, he's definitely got a chance here. I mean, especially if he gets him in the second round, he could put up a number. So I would mix in Valentine, but the better side is for sure Gautier if you can afford him at the top. I know I'm using Gautier for parlay fodder. I didn't end up betting on Valentine, but the only big dog that I bet on down there was McVey. He's the only one that I have real confidence in. Next, let's see here. We have Francisco Praau versus Nikolai Veriteneov. Praau -141 on the money line, plus 240 inside the distance for 8,300. Veriteneov 7,900 plus 125 money line, inside this number of plus 400. Two fighters that I think are just caught in a range where they are roughly the same price as Max Holloway and Poirier. So I'm really not getting much. Praau, I'm playing probably 10, 12%. I think he probably wins a decision. I bet on him. Veriteneov, as far as DFS, is a little more appealing because of the 400 salary cheapness, or cheaper, him being 400 salary cheaper. But Kyler Phillips is 200 less. Poirier is 100 more. Max Holloway's 300 more. I just don't have a lot of interest in this fight in general for DFS. Do you?
I mean, it's like you said, I'm going to have so much Holloway, Poirier. I'm much more interested in Olivivera and Phillips. It's just going to be tough, but I definitely favor the Praau side. He is aggressive. He's powerful. Like, he's another one who comes out there trying to end fights. He's tried to mix in wrestling. He hasn't landed a single takedown yet in the UFC, but I think Veriteneov, he can be taken down for sure. So Prado's got a wrestling path. He can knock Veriteneov out. And then on the other side, I think, Veriteneov, he's got a inside the distance line of plus 375, which isn't great, but I think it's actually not the worst matchup for him to find a knockout just because Praau is so aggressive. And this is Praau taking another fight up at 170 from 155, which I don't know why he's doing that because he's pretty undersized as it is. And he's going to be giving up a ton of size and physicality here. So not too sure he's going to be able to necessarily get his wrestling going. I think both of these guys are probably reliant on a finish of some kind to make the optimal, and I'm not sure we get one.
Agreed. Next, we got Marvin Vtori against Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen minus 182 with a plus 300 inside the distance number at 8,800 against Marvin Vtori. 7,400 with a plus 161 money line, plus 900 inside the distance. I bet pretty big on Vtori. I think this is a coin flip. I think they're very similar fighters. I like Vittori's gas tank a little better. I think, there's a little more edge to him. I don't think he's done yet. So I'm much heavier on the Vtori side of this fight. Brendan Allen is too expensive. Yep. He's 100 more than Ryan Spann, and I would take Ryan Spann every time. So I'm definitely, I bet on Vtori. I have Vtori more in DFS. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to have basically no Allen. Vittori's the better striker, and I think his wrestling and grappling. He's a highly skilled wrestler and grappler as well. So I don't think Allen is going to be able to take him down, have his way with him, and then ultimately submit him. Vtori has never been finished ever, and Allen is going to need a finish to contend for the optimal here, and I just don't see how he gets it. I agree with you. I don't think Vtori is washed at all. 7,400. Vtori isn't exactly a finisher either, but on this slate for 7,400, could a striking decision get there? Possibly. I think some of the options down here definitely have a bit more ceiling than Vtori, but not
he
by
got the wrestling upside. I think that he could take Allen down as well.
That's true. Yeah. And even now that I'm looking at it, like Vtori has so much more win equity than any of these options down here. So yeah, I agree with you completely. Like on the Vtori side, not really a fan of Brendan Allen's game in general or for DFS
or him as a person.
I don't know really anything about him as a person, but
he does have his name tattooed on his back.
Yeah, that's not surprising because his fight IQ is fucking terrible. Like he's one of these guys that I always like rail about who just doesn't refuses to pursue their best path to victory.
We're going to have one of those later.
Yes, we are. But yeah, I don't like Brendan Allen. I like Marvin Vtori. I think we can move on.
All right. Let's see. Next, we got Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. Yeah. I love this fight. Kyler Phillips plus 125 with a plus 425 inside the distance numbers for 7,700. Vinicius Oliveira 8,500 minus 143 plus 250 inside the distance. I bet really big on Kyler Phillips. So I have him a lot in DFS too. Do you also have a lot of Kyler Phillips?
I have a ton of Kyler Phillips. I've got high 30s on Kyler Phillips, and I think I actually need to pull back on that a little bit just so I can get to more like Bzeski, Vtori. Currently, the majority of this upper 7K ownership is getting funneled into Kyler Phillips for me. But the line has moved massively in his favor. He's taken on a guy in Olivivera who I think has kind of been he's been fighting a little bit above his head as of late, but it's because he's got a super wild and aggressive style that a lot of people just don't know how to deal with. But Phillips usually comes out pretty strong in the beginning himself. So I think it's going to be Phillips early. I like Phillips a lot here.
You like the finish?
I do, yeah. Just because Olivivera is like so aggressive, he leaves himself open to getting hurt and finished, and he has before. I think people are also just like a little bit down on Phillips too from his last performance, but that was against Rob Font, who's like really good himself. So
Right.
I'm back on the Phillips.
Took a big step up and wasn't quite ready.
Yeah. So I'm back on the Phillips train. I like Olivivera quite a bit, but again, the line has been moving away from him like steadily throughout the end of the week. And his inside the distance line isn't very good either for 8,500. It's only like plus 230, which is pretty underwhelming. Not really something I'm looking to buy into all that heavily.
Yep. We're on the same page there. Next, we got Daniel Zellhuber, the golden boy, against Michael Johnson, still kicking it. Zellhuber coming in at 9,500, minus 625 on the money line, but only a minus 125 inside the distance, versus Michael Johnson at 6,700, plus 510 money line with a plus 1,000 finish number. How do you think this is going to turn up for Michael Johnson?
Not well. This is probably the best finishing number we've ever had for Zellhuber, and it's still not very good for his price. So, his ownership reflects that. Zellhuber is only going to be probably low teens, if that. I think he's a pretty great like tournament play considering how low his ownership is, and the opponent across from him, Michael Johnson, like he's old, he's slow. He doesn't throw much volume. He doesn't really wrestle or grapple. So Zellhuber's got rock solid takedown defense. So even if Johnson wanted to use like his wrestling base, I don't think he's going to find much success here. It's just like 9,500 is so much to pay for Zellhuber considering all the finishers around him. And, I'm going to get there just like when I need a contrarian spot, but I just have a really hard time paying that much for Zellhuber. He just hasn't shown any real finishing upside aside from like that one sub.
I'm going to be over just because he's going to be so low. Like, I don't think so. Like, I think like in like the high stakes, you're going to see Zellhuber like single digits. Like it's going to be like nothing. So I will just by default, I will end up over market on Zellhuber.
Yeah, I'll have like 15% and be over.
Yeah. So Johnson, I mean, we've seen him die like 10 times in the ring. So I don't know that it's really going to take that much. Like Zellhuber could put him out with jabs. So, I definitely want to be over on that. Going back to Johnson, I think he's the worst play on the board, probably. Still going to play him like 5%, but really don't have much interest because I don't see a path for him to win like at all, unless Zellhuber like throws a leg kick and breaks his leg or something.
Yeah, he rates out the very worst for me.
He's the worst. He's the worst play on the board. Like worse than Fugit, which is hard to do. So yeah, definitely. I'm more in on Zellhuber, but I think this is a fight that if you're only playing a few lineups, you can comfortably fade. Next, we got Dan Ige against Patricio Pitbull Ferrer. Pitbull coming in at plus 179, plus 750 on the inside the distance number for 7,600. And Dan Ige, the man himself, minus 204, plus 250 inside the distance. I bet on Dan Ige pretty heavily. I think Ferrer is pretty cooked. He came over a little too late in his career. He's old. I like Ige here. DFS, not really interested in the fight as a whole because I do think Pitbull will put up some resistance. And Ige is going to need a knockout, but for 100 cheaper than Ryan Spann, no thanks.
Yeah, and Dan Ige doesn't he's fun to watch fight. He's tough. He gets in the pocket and swings, but like he's not a really urgent finisher, He'll go for opportunistic subs and he'll get some late round finishes here and there, but mostly Danny Ige is not a guy that I'm looking to play, especially at this price. I think the last fight he was in, we talked about against Sean Woodson. I came on here and said, this is probably one of the worst fights on the entire slate. And then Danny Ige was optimal with like 60. Because the slate was just an absolute dumpster fire. But yeah, I mean, but barring a absolutely stupid slate where, 70
14 fights, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, this is just a super, super low priority fight for me. I don't really like either side. I think it's going to be a low volume striking battle that goes the distance and just doesn't contend for the optimal at all.
Yeah. Pitbull does have some wrestling upside, but I just, because I really like Ige to win the fight, like I think that minus 204 number is like very good. Like I think this is a pretty safe 30-27 decision win for Ige. So I'm much more interested in it from a betting perspective than I am for him, for DFS.
Agreed.
Next, I like this one. D-Rod against Kevin Holland. Daniel Rodriguez coming back after that. He big win in his last fight, right? I'm trying to remember.
Who was it?
He was like I remember I bet against him and he lost, or he won.
Nibio.
Yeah, Ponzinibbio.
Round 3 finish.
Yeah. D-Rod coming in at 6,900 plus 460 money line plus 800 inside the distance against Kevin Trailblazer Holland, 9,300 minus 588 money line minus 145 inside the distance. I think that D-Rod will swing with him and I think he'll get knocked out. That is my take on this fight. I think Kevin Holland wins by knockout. Dan, do you agree?
Yeah, Kevin Holland should be able to win any way he wants, but they probably will stand and swing. Outside of that, D-Rod's got no wrestling or grappling to speak of. So if Holland wants to take it down to the mat and finish him down there, I think that's totally on the table too. 9,300 with this inside distance line is pretty strong. So I like Kevin Holland a lot here. I'll play some D-Rod just because he hits hard. And that's about it. Like that's the thesis for playing 6,900 Daniel Rodriguez, but I don't think I'm going to get to him all that much.
Yeah, I him and Frey are about the same to me. Frey's probably a little better, but I'm playing them both about the same amount. Holland, the only thing about Holland is he is up there priced with Gaier and Dulattov and Ferrer and Zellhuber. I think he's a lot closer to a play to Zellhuber than he is to Gaier. Let's put it that way. So I wouldn't necessarily prioritize Kevin Holland, but I do think he gets the finish here.
Yeah, the priority. I've got like 25% Holland, which is I feel like I always have, no matter like what matchup he's in or what he's priced, I always just have 25% Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I mean it's a good way to be. Let's see, getting into the real thick of it here. The co-main, we have Paulo Enrique Costa against Roman Copilov. Copilov 8,900 minus 233 on the money line with a plus 240 inside the distance number. Paulo Costa at plus 200 plus 400 inside the distance for 7,300. My biggest worry with Costa, as always, is that he does not take the path of least resistance. We know Copilov can't wrestle. We know he can't grapple. And we know Costa is a black belt. Will he grapple? Probably not. Which I hate. But ultimately,
some wrestling and grappling.
Say what?
Copilov now has some wrestling and grappling.
Only defensive.
No.
I don't think there's any way that he's going to be able to wrestle with Costa if it comes to it.
Yeah, probably not. But he has been using takedowns more. One against
Chris like when he's fighting guys who also can't wrestle.
I don't know. Chris Curtis has pretty good takedown defense. Yeah. Got him down.
I met him last week.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it's good.
Woke King, Chris Curtis.
Yeah. After he won, I shook his hand. He was taking pictures with people.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I love Paulo Costa as a bet in this fight, but I am ready to get burned. But I also love Paulo Costa in DFS, so I'm playing Paulo Costa like 35%. I bet him plus 200. I bet him 400 to get a finish. But I'm fully ready for him to sit there and swing and get knocked out like an idiot.
Yeah, the line has been crashing towards him. And Copilov, his inside the distance number is not very good. It's like plus 250. which just speaks to how durable Costa is. Like Costa has looked like shit for the better part of 7 years, but he's only been knocked out a single time, and that's by Izzy. So,
and then he got humped.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Ultra durable though. Ultra durable. And Copilov, I mentioned before, he has been adding the wrestling. It really is just out of desperation. Like he took Cesar Almeida down 5 times because he was getting fucked up on the feet. It's not really like a main component of his offensive game. So as much as I like Copilov in general, I don't really love him in this matchup. This whole like upper 8K price range is just like a dead zone to me. Like it's got Copilov, Allen, and Ige. Span, even like Olivivera. Like Span is the only one up in this range that I really have all that much interest in. Everybody else I'm coming in way, way under.
Yeah, I'm selling everybody in the range other than Span.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's all Costa here for me. And now we get to the main event. Max Holloway against Dustin Poirier 3. Max coming in as a -132 favorite despite losing the first 2 matchups with a +320 inside the distance number for 8,200. Poirier at 8K +118 +275 inside the distance. I feel pretty strongly about Max here, which I usually do. I think this is my best bet on the card by a significant amount. His other fights against Poirier were, especially the last one, he was moving up in weight, but with the intention of going back down. This time he's committed to going to 155, and he's probably filled it out a little better. The only real advantage Poirier has on him is power. So, if Max is a little more, I mean, I hate saying a little more durable because he's already really fucking durable. But if he's a little more, like, doesn't take as much damage as he did the last time, I really do not see him losing this fight unless he gets caught. You agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think the only way Holloway loses if he gets his chin cracked again, which, to be fair, once it happens once, it gets easier to do every single time. But, getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria, I'm not going to ding you too bad for that. That guy's got some of the best power in the entire promotion, outside of like maybe Derek Lewis, right? Like Topuria, I don't like the guy, but Topuria's power is just absolutely nuts. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. Just killing all my heroes. But yeah, I think Max bounces back in a big way here. Dustin, I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the volume. Dustin's most recent win against BSD. BSD is just kind of not very good. That win.
And he also was sick.
Yeah, he also had staph and was on antibiotics. And even in that matchup, Dustin looked pretty slow. Like he looked slow. He wasn't blowing BSD out of the water by any stretch. He eventually caught him.
He lost the first round. And then he knocked him out.
He was getting taken down like at will, which obviously Max isn't going to wrestle, but that's neither here nor there. Just to say that, Dustin is retiring for a reason, and Max probably still has ambitions of fighting for a title again someday. So, I have a really hard time getting away from Max here.
I think Max has one more win after this, and then it's title shot.
Do you think it's a rematch against Topuria?
Yeah, I think if he wins this, then he beats like Charles Oliveira next, then he'll fight Topuria.
My God, give me that fight.
Yeah,
give me that.
155. It's a bit Max. I think he has a better chance at 10 pounds heavier because of how much taller he is.
This old guard of lightweight is so fucking good, man. They're so good.
Yeah, and we're not even counting fucking Connor.
No, Paul. I don't think Connor's ever going to fight
again. Connor, but I'm saying Connor was the best of them, and he's
he's just gone. Yeah. Shame that. But yeah, it's Max. It's Max all day. Angela Gotti says early stoppage on Teixeira last week. Nah, man. You cannot use both hands. Like, okay, what happens if you stop there and deduct a point? Then you reset. Like Lewis had him dead to rights. I think you could argue that the fight should have been stopped before Teixeira even, dragged himself up on the cage with both hands. But yeah, man, if the only way you're getting up is dragging yourself up by the cage, you've been knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Totally agree. All right. Now we'll get into the bread and butter here. Let me bring it up. The old pick six presented by DraftKings.com, dkng.co/RPS.
Hashtag DK partner.
Let's see. Let me pull this up. DraftKings pick six. Here we go. UFC. See, they have a boost on Dustin Poirier for 90.5 significant strikes. That is a trap. So I am not clicking that. I will start with, we will go Kyler Phillips over 52.5 significant strikes. Dan?
Sorry, I'm still pulling this up. I don't usually have this up because they won't let me play this shit in my state. But at least they. Oh yeah, I see the Poirier trap right there. Let's see. Let me look at takedowns here. They're only letting you bet more on takedowns. They don't have a single under on takedowns.
Right.
It's fucking dumb.
Huh. Some of them have multipliers though.
That's true. I don't like any of these takedowns. Let's see. Let's get control time. I don't know. Wow, they really won't let you bet less on any of this shit, will they?
Some.
Significant strikes.
Ooh, I know. I think this one right here.
What about Copilov? Fewer than 74.5 6 strikes.
Copilov. Fewer than 74.5 significant strikes. I will go over on Dan Ige 52.5.
All right. What else we got? Oh, what about you like Kevin Holland more than 45 significant strikes? Do we think D-Rod can
last that long? Yeah, that's the issue.
That's the problem, right? I mean, Saber's got him projected at 62 significant strikes. Let's see if we got a line on this anywhere.
All right. We can go for over 45.5 on Kevin Holland. Let's see. Oh, man, this Ryan Spann number, 20.5. It's interesting, but I'm going to go with D-Rod, I think, over 40.5 also. I don't think he gets knocked out too quick for that.
All right. Do we need another one?
Yeah, one more.
Oh, fight time. It will only let you bet overs on these fight times as well. And I don't like any of them. Maybe Zell Huber Johnson over 12.5 minutes. Nah, John Johnson's probably getting knocked the fuck out way before then. Let's see. What about Judis over 95.5 6 strikes? If we think that one goes over, even if she gets taken down and controlled, I think she can still blow that out.
All right. Kyler Phillips over 52.5 significant strikes. Roman Kopylov over 74.5 significant strikes. Dan Ige over 52.5 significant strikes. Kevin Holland over 45.5 significant strikes. D-Rod over 40.5 significant strikes. And Carly over 95.5 significant strikes. 100 to win at least 1,500.
Let's go.
Picks have been submitted. So, in closing, what's your favorite bet?
Oh, it's Max Holloway.
Yeah, agreed. All right. We're both on Holloway. See everybody at the fights. Later.